All right, shutting the door. Hi, so let's talk astrology. So if you have astrology related questions, feel free to ask me and I will answer them for you. Let me go ahead and get set up on Instagram. Astrology questions. Okay, so it looks like we have to share this. Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Hi, if you are new here, this is our astrology hour where I get our astrology hour. I love that. This is our astrology hour where I get to answer some of your astrology questions. So if you've got them, do not hesitate to ask. Hi, Isabel. Thanks for being here. It's nice to see you. Hi. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. So this is our astrology hour where you get to ask me your astrology related questions and I will answer them for you. I'm hoping that tonight, and thanks to you guys that are tapping on the live, that are getting that started for us. I really appreciate it. Hi from Miami. Hi, Miami. I'm so glad you're here. Now, this is completely unrelated. It's Wiggy. But I am upset that HBO, canceled my favorite show out of Miami. I'm not sure that it's being recorded in Miami, but it's promoting like Miami and Miami culture. Obviously, not all of Miami, but Rap Shit. Anybody familiar with Rap Shit? Anybody watches that show? Yes, they just canceled it out of nowhere. I am very upset about this because I was loving the show. In fact, I was in the middle of watching season 1. Oh, it is filmed in Miami. Okay, I didn't even know that. That's so cool. Yes, I was in the middle of rewatching season 1. This is how much I love this show. So when I found out it was canceled right after season 2, I'm like, what? Like, we're just getting into it. And there were so many loose pieces that they left out. I'm like, okay, so we're just not supposed to know how these things get wrapped up. You're just going to drop us off just like that. All this because of a business agreement that HBO has, which has nothing to do with the art. But here we are. So Rap Shit, I'm so upset about it. I want to make a video about it just to talk about the characters on the show because they definitely do give me different like Zodiac sign vibes. So I do want to talk about that at some point, but I've been too upset to talk about it. So I was going to wait until I was a little bit less mad to actually start talking about it. All right. So somebody wants to know, how do I feel about Scorpio and Scorpio capabilities? Can you be more specific? Capabilities in what department? Are we talking work? Are we talking parenting? Are we talking, I don't know, accounting skills? Are we talking about housemaking? Are we talking about marriage? What are we talking about? Okay, so it's Wiggy said, I'm mad too because I was supposed to work on set as a makeup artist. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. So for you, it was actual money out of your pocket. I'm so sorry. That's awful. They don't think about the people when they make these decisions. It's like people really lined up their lives to show up for this art because they believe in it. And you guys just pulled the plug at the last minute. And I know Issa did not see it coming. I could just tell. I could tell she did not see it coming because she was so excited about coming into this new year. So that was just a huge blow right at the beginning of the year. I feel like they've taken away all of our shows, but that's a conversation for another day. Okay, you're right. That is life. You're right. So somebody said, so the person that asked me about Scorpio capabilities for friendship to relationship. Okay, so let me clarify before I answer. So you're asking, what are the chances of you transitioning from a friendship with a Scorpio to a relationship? Is that what you're asking? Let me just confirm before I give you the wrong answer. Thank you guys for sharing the live. Thank you for tapping on the screen. Thank you for bringing the likes up. I appreciate it. But more importantly, thank you for spending your time with me. I know that is your most valuable resource, your time. So I always appreciate you giving me your time and spending time with me. So thank you so much for that. Sagittarius woman with an Aquarius man in love is what Wiggy wants to know. Okay. Oh, someone said love the bun. Thank you, Magenta Dragon, for saying that. I appreciate it. I'm glad that it's been warm around these parts so I can wear my natural hair out. Many of you may or may not know, but I live with a chronic illness called lupus. Part of the issue with lupus is that it causes issue with body regulation of heat, and that's why you will see me in a lot of different wigs. I have quite a few for that reason, but I actually prefer my hair in its natural state. So it's more for my comfort when it gets super cold, and less because I do not like my hair, because what's better than your own hair, right? All right. So the person that asked me about Scorpio and Sagittarius, I was hoping that you would give me a little bit of feedback on like the nature of your question before I answer it. It seems we are heading in that direction. Oh, okay. So you did answer, but he blocked you out. I don't know why it does that, guys, by the way, when you put your questions in there and then it just won't show it. Okay. So let me be clear. So you're asking, what is a propensity that you can go from a friendship to a romantic relationship with a Scorpio? In short, the odds are low. Okay? Because Scorpio is very particular about the type of people that Scorpio dates. Scorpio is also very particular about the type of people that they entertain privately. And Scorpio is even more particular about the type of people that they want to entertain sexually. Okay? So when it comes to any type of intimacy, even though Scorpio yearns and craves intimacy, it creates a lot of anxiety and fear for them, because their biggest fear is being betrayed. And they know the greater, the likelihood of getting betrayed goes up as you invite more people into your circle. So Scorpio is very, very picky about what kind of energy they give people, because they're afraid that they might give the wrong person energy that will later be used against them. Okay? So with that being said, before a Scorpio decides that they're going to pursue you, and thanks to you guys for liking the live, I appreciate it. Before a Scorpio decides that they're going to pursue you, they do a lot of homework, energetic homework, by checking with their spirit team, with their gut, to see how they feel about you. And it's not something they do once, it's something they do over an extensive period of time to make sure that you're consistently being who you say that you are. So your energy has to feel right to them. It has to feel enticing to them. It has to feel desirable to them. When it comes to love, Scorpio does not take it lightly. It's one of those things that Scorpio takes very, very seriously. And this is something that I wish every Scorpio would admit about themselves. All of them at the core are lover boys and lover girls of the Zodiac. When you think about Scorpio, think of Drake. Think about how many songs Drake has written about women that he's had dalliances with. Now, I'm not saying that Drake wanted to marry all these women, but I'm saying when Drake speaks about these women, you can hear and feel the passion in the music that he still has for these women, even though some of them are from years ago. It's almost like when Scorpio loves you, they can never let you go. Even when you break up, you still stay in their spirit. It's hard for them to divorce you completely out of their spirit. And this is precisely why they are so picky on the front end about who they want to allow to get close to them. That is the reason, because when it comes time for them to get rid of you, because whatever energy you're bringing is not what they thought you were, or it's something that harms them or deprives them of something, it's so much harder for them to do that. Like, yes, they could do it with their mouth and they could do it with their movements, like not hanging around with you anymore, but you will linger in their soul, because when they love deep, deep. They love on the soul level, because to them, love is like as necessary as air. So they love very passionately and very intensely. So their love is not just for fun. It's not just because I'm bored. Like air signs love because they're bored. Fire signs love because they need excitement. They need the plot twist. That's why they love. Water signs tend to love more deeply because their love is wrapped up in their emotions. And Scorpio being a fixed sign, fixed in astrology means like not moving. So think about energy being stagnant. It's still. It's hard for them to purge energy because they're a fixed sign. Taurus struggles with that too. Leo struggles with that too. Aquarius struggles with that too. But for Scorpio, it's the worst in love because they love romantically and emotionally. All the others may not necessarily love emotionally. Okay. So generally, when a Scorpio meets you, because of all the things I just mentioned, they already have a good sense of like where they can slide you in their life. And notice I said slide you in their life. Okay, that's because Scorpio does the choosing. When it comes to love, they don't get chosen, they choose. And you have to fit in their ecosystem. Their ecosystem is already well functioning, it's self-sufficient, it's in order, because they don't like a lot of mess because they feel things intensely. So they're very controlling of the energy they allow, because they know if you bring that mess over here, they're going to get crunk and they may get into things they're not really trying to get into. So they do a good job of minimizing the likelihood that people can fuck with them. Okay. So they do their choosing. You do not choose them. So when a Scorpio sees you, and if they like you, they will do a thorough analysis of where you fit in their lives, and they will determine whether you are for play, whether you are for sex, whether you are for friendship, and whether you are marriage material. Like, they already know from the gate like where you fit. So if a Scorpio has slotted you into friendship, that's where they want you. Now, you may progress from there to having sex, because Scorpio is that zodiac sign that likes to have sex with their friends. But that doesn't mean that you're no longer friends and that now it's something else. Like, they may act like it's more because they want the sex and they don't really want to have to put in the effort to actually pursue somebody and pursue a whole relationship, because really a relationship takes a lot out of them at the same time. So many of them avoid that process. But just because they are available to have sex with you on the regular, if you were friends, does that mean that now you're much more, or that they want much more? Because if they wanted much more, they would have started with you on that foot. So that's my answer. Chances are slim to none in my experience. Okay, Linda said so true. Just Gumi said yup. Let me read some of the comments. Scorpio rising here. Hi, Scorpio rising. Welcome. Someone says true, Scorpio. Let's see. Let me read the other Scorpio comments. So true. Laura said hi. Hi, Riri. I'm just seeing you. I'm Libra and I need help. Okay, Libra, we'll come back to you later. Laura V said you're beautiful. Thank you, Laura V. Okay. All right. Very good. So that's my answer. And it sounds like the Scorpios on the live agree. You know, they're at this point, they're just having a good time. It's just, you know, sex is fun and they love sex a lot. So yeah, let's have a good time. But yeah, they don't want anything more than that. They may not tell you that because they don't want to hurt your feelings. And they also don't want the sex to run dry, because like, what is an elegant way to tell somebody, I don't really want to date you, but I like the way that you do me? Like, there's no elegant way to say that. Like, how do you say that and not be an asshole? Like, how do you say that and still be a good guy? Like, I'm a nice guy. I like you as a friend, but I just don't want anything more. Like, how do you say that to a girl and not make her feel like she's like a prostitute of some sort? You know what I mean? It's rude. It's just rude. So they're going to avoid the conversation for as long as possible, especially if the sex is good, because that's like it's like sex with the least amount of effort. And it's also sex with somebody they already feel comfortable with. So yeah, why would I want to rock that boat? Like, I'm getting everything I want. I'm not doing that. All right. So good question. Thank you for getting us started that way. Let's move on to the next question. Now, there was a question at the top there about Sagittarius. So let me go back. Yeah, it was from Wiggy. Hey, it's Wiggy. Sagittarius woman with an Aquarius man in love. Those two are soulmates. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Those two are soulmates. They belong together. Nobody's going to compliment these two like the two that they are. There are other matches for these two, but the type of bond that these two create is not just physical, it's not just emotional, it's not just intellectual, it's deeply spiritual. And nobody's going to be able to give them that depth of spirituality that they both share. The thing about it is that these four last zodiac signs, going from Pisces being the oldest, after that we have Aquarius and Capricorn, then Sagittarius. These are the, one second, TikTok is making me put in a code. These are the oldest souls in the zodiac. These are the oldest people in all of astrology, these four. So as we get older, astrologically speaking, we become more deeply spiritual. So these four are the most spiritual zodiac signs in all of astrology. So yes, Sagittarius and Aquarius can have soulmates with other people. In fact, Aquarius is an excellent soulmate for Aries as well. Yeah, Aries is an excellent soulmate for Aquarius. Sagittarius is an excellent soulmate for Aquarius. Aquarius goes really well with Leo 50% of the time. Aquarius goes really well with Libra, technically, but I think in practice it's a little rough. Aquarius goes well with Gemini. That's another soulmate for Aquarius. And Aquarius goes really well with another Aquarius. Again, because they're both fixed, it might be a little rough, okay? With that being said, it's possible for Aquarius and Sagittarius to have other mates. You know, Sagittarius is also a great mate for Aries, a great mate for Leo, and a great mate for all the air signs. However, the added bonus of Sagittarius and Aquarius being together is that they both have spiritual aspirations. They both have very idealistic aspirations about making the world a better place, about changing the world, about improving the world in some fashion. None of the other zodiac signs spiritually have been tasked with this. These last four, their spiritual assignment is about the populace, it's about the people, it's about improving the world. So when these last four or these last six zodiac signs, which are the true adults of the zodiac, come together, they do some deep shit that changes the world. So they don't just change each other and their dynamic, but their impact is more widespread. So when they come together, it's truly magic that doesn't just benefit their connection, but the world in a very meaningful way. It's a little bit less about the sensuality, the passion, the emotional connection, but it's also in this like higher plane where we talk about soulmates, where we talk about soul's purpose, when we talk about soul's mission, and how do we work together to make dreams come true that people have been waiting for us to make come true for several lifetimes. It is a deep, deep type of love where they can respond to each other on an intellectual level without one feeling emotionally neglected, because the two of them don't have a high need for a lot of emotional support. Sagittarius is not emotionally needy, and neither is Aquarius. So they can give each other space without feeling emotionally neglected. They can also speak each other's language, which is highly spiritual and intellectual and energetic. Because with these two, it's all about the vibe. If the vibe is off, these two will leave you like they never met you. They don't care what you did, what you thought you were doing, what you might be doing. If the vibe is off, they know there's no soul in it, there's no God in it, they got to go. They don't have a problem with that. So when the vibe is off, they can come together and talk about it intellectually and come to a resolution. The other thing is these two are also very, very positive people. They don't like a lot of nonsense. They don't like a lot of drama. They don't like a lot of stupidity that a lot of people seem to indulge in. A lot of people like wasting their lives having meaningless conversations that are rooted in like poor self-esteem and an inability to pursue their dreams and an inability to be committed to a passion that makes them feel alive and that gets them to wake up every day. These two don't have that problem. They literally wake up every day with a purpose in mind, because these two without a purpose are deeply depressed and unhappy people. It's almost like they need a connection to a higher power, and they need a sense of creativity and a sense of belonging that is so deeply rooted in who they are, that their purpose in this universe is like, in essence, like their identity. When these two don't feel like they are contributing something of value in this universe, they might as well be dead. Might as well, because what else is there to do if not here to do something that is meaningful for the world? And that is what brings them together in a way that the others could never fulfill them. These two have telepathy. They can speak to each other without words. That's their spiritual gift together. It's quite magical when they come together. I'm an Aquarius rising and a Sagittarius sun. I have never met one that I didn't like. It's immediate. It's like meant to be. It's magic when they come together. So yes to that relationship and more of it. There's nothing you're gonna need to talk to your Aquarian about, or your Aquarian is gonna need to talk to you about as a Sagittarian, that will rub you the wrong way or make you feel weird or thank you so much for the gift. So that will prevent you from being able to actually have an intellectual conversation. These two are not easily triggered. They're not like, oh my God, this is beyond me, or like, why would you bring that up? Like, these two are the types of people that can actually talk about the fact. Let me give you an example. This is what makes these two a perfect pair. Okay. Because of their emotional maturity. And these two, again, the older souls, right? Because of their emotional maturity, they can have all sorts of conversation without feeling emotionally triggered. As an example, a lot of you ladies say that you want a man that doesn't lie to you, a man that tells you the truth, a man that's real with you, and the man that's present. Now, let's say as an example, if your man was developing a crush on one of his coworkers. I'm just using an arbitrary example, right? So your man is developing a crush on his coworker, right? He's obviously loyal and faithful to you. He wants to be with you and just you, and that's your arrangement. You're in a monogamous, committed relationship. Let's say that your man is an Aquarius man or a Sagittarius man, right? that man is going to come home and he's going to tell you about that. Like, I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden this person is looking good to me. And I wonder what that's about. Like, why am I looking at them differently now? Why am I thinking about them differently now? Is this because I'm actually attracted to them? Or is this because I'm sexually deprived in our relationship and I'm just using them to work through some of my frustration? Like, Aquarius is going to want to engage you as their partner into this conversation because they see it as an opportunity to better understand themselves, better understand their attraction, better understand their humanity. And they're going to want a partner that can be with them at that level without being so insecure that this conversation in and of itself is so taboo they don't want to participate. Like, the man hasn't even said he's doing anything. The man hasn't said he wants to do anything. And obviously, if this man is coming to you with this conversation, is obviously not because he wants to cheat. Because the type of man that wants to cheat is not the man that's coming to you to say, you know what? The lady at work that picks up the garbage, like today when she was coming through, I was just like feeling some type of way. And I don't know what that's not the cheater. The cheater is the guy that's going to be mum about those feelings. And then he's going to be doing some things behind your back, which, by the way, most Aquarians are not cheaters when they are committed to you because their connection is on the soul level. When they love you, much like Scorpio, it's deep and it's really for life, and it has no limits. It has no limits for time, for space. Aquarius can live in another country from you and still communicate with you telepathically and still love you very deeply. So this is what sets these two apart, is that they're able to have a higher level of conversation that isn't disrupted by emotions. A lot of people struggle in relationships because they're emotionally immature. They have a lack of emotional self-awareness, a lack of emotional intelligence. They don't even know this about themselves. They say they want truth and intimacy, but when their partner comes to them with truth and intimacy, they're getting their feelings about what the partner is bringing, when really that is what they requested. You wanted an honest partner. The universe gave you an honest partner, and now you're mad that they're too honest. Well, what would you rather they do? Lie to you and do things behind your back? No, you would be mad about that too. So what do you want exactly? Can you spell out for me how to make this work? Because you say you want truth. I give you truth. Now you're mad at my truth. Make it make sense. That is why I like these two together, because the level of respect that they put on truth, nobody else in the Zodiac has that same level of respect. Nobody. They all claim they want the truth. Ask all of them, from Aries to Pisces. Do you want a partner that tells you the truth? Do you want a partner that loves you? Do you want a partner that's open with you, that's going to tell you like exactly where they are at all times? It's not going to be two-faced. That's not going to be keeping secrets. They're going to be like, yes, girl, yes. Yes, I want someone that's going to be real with me. I want someone that's going to tell me the truth. I want someone that's going to be down for me. And then the minute that person attempts to be real with you, then we have a problem. I'm being too real. Okay, so what you really want is a fantasy. Just say that. Just say that. Because real love takes work. It takes honesty. It takes communication. Let me read some of the comments. So that's why I love these two together. I can't think of a better pairing, honestly. Someone said that is so true. My ex and myself. Good for you. Someone said yes, LOL. Someone said that's deep. It's the truth. Someone said that's so true. Aquarius loves on a different level. Yes. You guys want love, but you don't want to reveal yourself. If you don't know how to be real, and if you have insecurities about who you are, like if you don't like yourself, let me put it this way. If you don't like who you are, and you are actively at war with your essence, your divine essence, the person that you are, the person that God made you to be, and Aquarius is not for you. Okay? Because Aquarius only wants love that is soulful. In order for me to love you on the soul level, I've got to know your soul. And you've got to know my soul. So the love that Aquarius wants is authentic because it's a soul type of love. It's not about your looks. It's not about your money. It's not about your acumen. It's not about your social status. It's not about where you come from. It's a soul connection. And this is why, by the way, Aquarius as a zodiac sign is the number one most likely to marry somebody from a different racial group than them. Did you know that? Aquarius is the number one zodiac sign to marry somebody from a different racial group than them. And that's because Aquarius doesn't care about what you look like. They care about how your energy feels. If your energy is pure, if it's clean, if it's raw, if it's authentic, that's what turns them on. They don't care about the other details because to them, that's not as important because they're here for ascension. They want intellectual ascension and spiritual ascension. So if you do not bring intelligence, emotional intelligence to the table, truth, authenticity, self-awareness, psychology, an understanding of who you are, the energy that you carry, the energy that you bring, and the powers that you have in this universe and how you utilize them. If you don't have any of those tools, an Aquarian is not for you because literally everything they do will trigger you because they force you to be real. And a lot of you claim to be real until it's time to actually be real. That's when everybody runs away. Someone says I'm in Aries and with my first Sag and it's wild. I'm sure those two are wild together. Too bad, Leo. Nobody wars love. Who needs that? Okay. Aquarius is the best sign as a zodiac. Aquarius is one of my favorite zodiac signs for this reason because nobody's as real as Aquarius, period. I don't care what they say. Aquarius rising, Saturn, Venus, Sag, Mercury, and North Node. My goodness. You're a powerhouse of Aquarius energy. Goodness. I love it though. I love Saturn energy because my chart is mostly Saturn. So I get it. Like, be real, follow the rules. It's very simple. If you can't be real, you can't follow the rules. We're not for you. Cancer Sun, Scorpio rising, Sagittarius moon. Yes, all of these messages are hitting. I'm happy to hear it. Very good. Very good. Someone said, oh my God, yes, I see the best in every bad situation. Facts. All right. So I answered that question about Aquarius in love with a Sagittarius. Very good. Someone said, oh, my son is Aquarius and he's unlike anyone in my family. People always say he's going to be great. Oh my God. Aquarians are natural geniuses. All of them. I don't even care if they're only graduated like college or high school. The way their mind works is on a whole nother level. Like obviously Gemini is like the faster thinker and the most like wild thinker, but Aquarius is the deeper thinker. Some of my favorite philosophers are Aquarians for that reason, because they're not afraid of anything. They're not afraid of death. They're not afraid of poverty. They're not afraid of loss. They're not afraid of anything except losing their authenticity. That's it. Losing the energy that God put in them when they were made. That's what Aquarius is the most afraid of. They're most afraid of being fake. That's it. They're most afraid of being in the situation where they have to be fake, because there's nothing they abhor more than fake people, fake energy, fake relationships, fake conversations, and just overall stupidity. Like low vibrational stuff, like ignorant stuff, hateful stuff. Ugh, it makes them like nauseous, like literally visibly nauseous. That's what they don't like. But a lot of people are not that deep. A lot of people are concerned about superficial things like image and this and that and blah, blah, blah. They think all these things define them. Aquarius get their self-worth from the quality of their soul and the quality of their energy. That's what they care about. They don't care about any of these external factors that can pretty much be taken from them at any time, which is why they're not pressed about it like a lot of people are. He's 6 and so spiritual and so loving. Oh my God, that is so cute. Yeah, I have a daughter who has a lot of Aquarian energy in her chart, and sometimes I feel like I should record some of our conversations because they're so wild. Like they're so out of this world. I'm like, am I talking to a 5-year-old? Because we're literally talking about like love is the reason why, like the lack of love is the reason why people die. Like, am I seriously talking to a 5-year-old about this? Like the stuff that she says. Like, it's like before we were on Earth, we were all frozen on the moon. Like, I'm just like, what? We were frozen on the moon. She's like, yeah, we were all frozen on the moon. And then our heart had to get warmed up. That's why we came here. So you need to feel things in your heart. That's what keeps you alive. And when you die, it's because your heart is no longer working. It's broken. I'm like, what? What? Like, you're 5. What are you? Hi, Lee. Welcome. What are you? What are we talking about? Like, she makes me forget that she's 5 all the time because she is so. There have been plenty of times I've had to apologize to her because I was wrong about things. That's how Aquarius is. This is why Aquarius is like the most intellectual zodiac sign. That's why they're the brainiac of the zodiac signs. Like, if Aquarius reads something once, they've memorized it. Forget about it. Forget about arguing with them about facts, because they're not going to be gung-ho about something unless they know it for a fact. And if they don't know something, they're going to be researching it. They're going to be finding out. They're going to be looking into it. All they care about are the facts. They don't care about anything else. All they care about are the facts. Give me the facts, you know? Yeah, my little one, she's very into like factual ways of communicating. Like, she's very much so into like the concrete. Like, make it make sense. Like, if it doesn't make sense, she's not just gonna do it because you said so. That's the other thing. Aquarians as children are very difficult to raise because oftentimes they're more advanced than the people who are raising them. And I just wish that parents of certain zodiac signs like understood this about their child, because many of you, if you're raising these children, like Aquarius being one of them, you know, Gemini, Virgo, like children who have a lot of these energies in their chart, you know, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Capricorn, these children are more often than not going to be smarter than you. And some parents are so too insecure to actually like be able to effectively raise these children, because when children ask questions because things don't make sense to them, these insecure parents think their children is like competing for their position. They think their child is trying to like overthrow them. In like their delusional world, they think this like little kid is trying to overthrow them from the throne, and the child just wants to sit on the throne, and the child wants to be the parent, and the child wants them to be their child. And it's like, no, these children are literally just figuring out the world, and they are going to challenge you. They're going to question you. They're going to analyze your behavior and the things that you say, and they're looking for comprehension. They're looking for you to make sense. They're looking for things to add up. And when the things that you're teaching them and the things that you're doing are nonsensical, they will bring it up because they need you to make sense of the world, because they're experiencing the world through you. They're just asking for data. You don't need to be having a knee-jerk, low self-esteem reaction to a 5-year-old. They're literally 5. How can a 5-year-old have your self-esteem that threatened? You need therapy if it's that deep. Because their brains are literally just getting to clicking. They're asking for your help in making it click. That's not them trying to overthrow you and take over Rome. Like, let's take a deep breath. They're 5 years old. They're little kids. They're learning. It's our job to teach them the right way to do things and the incorrect way to do things. Yes, you can ask questions. There's a respectful way to do it, and there's a disrespectful way to do it. That's parenting. But asking them to not have their personality or their brain because it threatens you, that's a you issue. You've got to figure that out. That has nothing to do with them. Okay? So that was my little advocacy for my little babies that are hard to raise. And for those of you parents, again, that will be Aquarius, Gemini, Virgo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. Yep. If you have a baby that has any of these of the big 3, or if this is their big 6, all these signs, or if they have an abundance of these signs, you are in for a trip, because not only are they know-it-alls, they're also hard-headed. All of them. Even the ones that act like they're not. They're hard-headed. So it takes a lot of patience and a lot of communication above all. Okay? All right, next question. Oh, I'm in the same boat as you. Miss Anna B. Yes. But I'm grateful that I understand astrology, so it helps me understand my child on a deeper level. Because if I didn't have this knowledge, I wouldn't know what's going on. I wouldn't know anything. And I would take it personally. So, the only thing we can do is really educate ourselves so we can be smarter people, which is what Aquarius is all about. What is the point of life if not to be better and smarter and greater than you were yesterday? If you're just here to breathe and eat and die, that's not a life. We want to transcend our reality. Every day we want to evolve. And your children are supposed to be smarter than you. That's the point. That's the goal. If you are the smartest person in your bloodline, don't you see that you're hustling backwards? Do you not see that every generation that comes after you is supposed to be better than you? You see how we now know that racism is bad and stupid? Yeah, previous generations did not know that. We're supposed to get smarter. So those of you who have kids that are hard to raise because they're smart, I understand it's challenging, but that's actually a good thing. Because there's certainly other problems you can have with your kid. And that's, in my book, that's a good problem to have. Is it easy? No. But it's good for your bloodline to have that problem. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, okay? Yeah, happy birthday to all the Aquarians on this live. Happy birthday to you guys. I love you guys so much. Sometimes I feel like my account is like an Aquarius stan account. Because I feel like Aquarius is such a misunderstood zodiac sign, and a lot of astrologers do not understand Aquarius, and a lot of them describe Aquarius in a very bizarre way. Yes, Aquarius is the alien of the zodiac, but they don't really make an effort to understand the mechanisms, the psychological mechanisms of Aquarius. Speaking of that, I want to share a tidbit about Aquarius energy, and then we can move on to the next question. Aquarius is such an alien. This is why Aquarius is such a stickler for people having good energy and being sincere and being honest and not being two-faced. Here's the reason. It's because Aquarius is literally the alien of the zodiac, okay? Aquarius does not know how to be a human being. I'm just going to admit it. Aquarius doesn't know how to be a human being. Aquarius has always felt odd and weird, even in their own family. Wherever Aquarius goes, they always feel weird. Aquarius can be surrounded by a million people and still feel like a fish out of water, because most people are not on the psychological vibration and spiritual vibration that Aquarius is on. Okay? Aquarius simply does not fit in. Many of them are born into families that don't fit in, and they go into the world and realize they don't fit in anywhere. So eventually they have a breakthrough where they realize the only place they fit in is with themselves. And that's when they come into their power. When they finally embrace their weirdness, that's when they realize that, I was supposed to introduce my weirdness to the world. I wasn't supposed to be just like everybody else. That's why I've always not fit in. They finally get it. But they have to go through that journey alone. So Aquarius has to go through a lot of isolation because they're born into families that reject them. So they learn how to love themselves very deeply because they were never accepted. They were never loved. If you have Aquarius at the sun, moon, or rising, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm an Aquarius rising, and I do not fit in with my family by any account whatsoever. Well, the only account where I fit in is perhaps with my dad, because my dad is very brainy, and I am similar to him in that regard. He's obviously a lot smarter, no doubt about it. But yes, we have that in common. But other than that, yeah, just a wash. We're just very different. And a lot of Aquarians have been made to feel like there's something wrong with the fact that they're different. So a lot of them have grown up with that feeling of rejection, that feeling of not fitting in and being made to feel like you're not enough. And you have to be like the others to be accepted. And then at some point, Aquarius wakes up and goes, fuck it. Because I determine my worth. You don't get to tell me what my worth is. And when they do that, what happens is that the universe starts to go, oh, you are worthy just as you are. And then everybody comes and worships at their throne. But it doesn't happen until they say, I'm the king. Because Aquarius is more mature Leo. Leo and Aquarius are sisters in astrology. Leo believes, I'm the sun, I'm the star. Leo thinks, I'm the star, I'm the only star. And Aquarius knows we all are stars. So Aquarius finally learns that just because my light flicks differently does not mean there's anything wrong with it. I'm a different star than you, just like you're a different star than me, but we all are stars because all of us came from the cosmos. You're no better than me, and I'm no better than you. That is the message of Aquarius. This is what Aquarius is, the humanitarian of the zodiac. And that, by the way, my friends, is why Aquarius is such a stickler for good vibes and good energy, because they grew up with toxicity. All of us who have Aquarius at the sun, moon, or rising grew up in homes where we were rejected, where we were shamed, where we were made to feel isolated, where when we left those environments, we really struggled with social skills. All of us are very good at like navigating humans because we've like learned how to do it, but it doesn't come effortlessly to us. It doesn't come naturally to us to have small talk, to have bullshit ass conversations that are meaningless in the grand scheme of things. We would much rather be having more in-depth conversations about soul stuff. What's happening in the world? What's the psychology of our behavior? Let's talk about the future of our society as a whole. Let's talk about the future of AI. Let's talk about the future of human development and technology. Let's talk about spirituality and soul purpose. Let's talk about world peace. What needs to happen for us to transcend this like you versus me dichotomy that all of us are living in, that's reflected in so many aspects of our society. These are the conversations we want to have at the water fountain. But we know you guys don't want to talk about that because we're weird, right? Because you guys want to talk about, oh my God, I had such a bad night of sleep last night. Yes, me too, girl. What show are you watching? Keeping Up with the Kardashians? Yeah, me too. Can you believe Khloe did that? Oh my God, I cannot believe it. That's what you guys want to talk about. So we've learned that these are the customs of humans. And in order for us to be accepted in humanity, we have to behave like humans. So we've picked up these traits from you guys from observing these like superficial behaviors. And we know how to maneuver these situations to make people feel comfortable. We know how to crack a joke to keep people at ease so that we don't hit you guys with like the heaviness of our energy, because our energy is truly heavy. Uranus is one of the coldest. No, strike that. Uranus is the coldest planet in our solar system. You know what that means? The pain on Earth, we feel that deep, deep. We feel that in our soul. The way humans mistreat each other, we feel that on a soul level. And because we got a taste of that in our homes growing up, because we were mistreated for being othered, when we left that environment, we decided that if nobody else was going to do it, in every space we were in, we were going to be the ones that stood up for the person that was being othered, for the person that was being treated poorly, for the person that was being neglected, pushed out, for the person that was being harassed, for the little guy. We decided that we knew about that pain and we were never going to allow that in our reality ever again. So when we give you our energy, it's always authentic, it's real, and it's raw. And when you guys take all of that kindness and that love and you give us two-faced, fake-ass energy, we become extremely cold. Because Uranus is the coldest planet in our solar system. So cold that we have a reputation now of being the ghoster of the zodiac. Yes, it's true. I would admit, I have ghosted plenty of people. Aquarius and Capricorn will ghost you in a heartbeat because we cannot deal with inauthentic energy. We cannot deal with fake energy because we are real as it gets. If you don't know how to be real because you don't love yourself, don't talk to us. Go talk to the other fake people who hate themselves. These are the people that will enjoy your company. We do not enjoy people, situations that are fake because we know what that feels like. It's not real love. Real love is raw. Real love is raw. If you can't be raw, this is not real. So don't give me that stuff. I don't want it. Because quite frankly, Aquarius and Capricorn don't need your romance to be alive. Unlike Libra and Aries and Taurus, these two do not need romance to feel fulfilled. So if I'm going to give you my love, I expect you to give me your love back in the same way I give you my love, and that is pure. So if I have been conditioned to learn the ways that humans treat each other nice because my honesty and my sincerity is too much for you, is too dark for you, is too heavy for you, is too real for you, and I have learned how to talk about Kim Kardashian at the water cooler so I was not too intense, so that we could get a vibe going, so you could see that underneath all that intensity, I'm really a sweet and kind person. If I have done all that work of being less of an alien and adapting myself to all of your human ways, the very least you could do is show up in my energy the same way I'm showing up in yours. So snip, snip, itching every day with no remorse. There's not a single person that I have ghosted that I regret ghosting. Not one. And yes, maybe that's toxic, but that's because I feel it's beneath me. Okay? And yeah, this may be toxic. I'll admit it. This may be toxic. But at this point, I feel it is beneath me to explain to you why being two-faced is not how you build real connections. Because energetically, on an ethical level, we're not in the same plane. We're not the same. I have ethics. I have principles. I believe in equity, égalité, equality. I believe that when somebody gives me $1, it is my responsibility to give them back $1, because they didn't have to do that. You didn't have to give me love. You didn't have to show up for me. I didn't have to give you love. I didn't have to give you advice. I didn't have to give you comfort. I didn't have to give you support. I didn't have to show up for you. I did it because I love you. So if you can't do the same for me because you love me, and you have the audacity to speak love with your mouth, tell me you love me, but then the things you're doing are not very loving, I feel insulted psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. And the fact that you don't realize by now that I can read your energy and read your mind is even more insulting to me, because I am an Aquarian. Hello? I am literally sitting next to Pisces, who is the most psychic zodiac sign. You really think you can hide things from me? You really think that little fake love that you're throwing on here is going to be enough? That little razzle dazzle? You really think so? You really think I couldn't peep game? Really? You looked at everybody here in the zodiac and you decided the 11th zodiac sign that rules brotherhood, that rules intelligence, that rules science, that rules freaking technology is a zodiac sign that you are going to con. It's exhausting. It's quite literally exhausting. So it's not that we're cruel people, it's that we get so tired of people being so transparent and predictable and naive and selfish. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. So yes, I will continue to ghost each and every person that gives me lame ass energy in return for my pure love until the day I die. That is a toxic trait that I never want to evolve from. So cheers, Aquarians. It's not my job. It's not my job. Your mother and father should have taught you how to be a kind, decent human being. Your failure to have learned that makes that your responsibility. It's not my job to teach you that when people give you something that you're not entitled to, that you should give back the same. My God, we're talking about energy. We're not asking for $1 million. You can't even be trusted to give pure love. What can you be trusted with? Definitely not somebody's heart. Definitely not money. Nothing. I don't want to do business with somebody I can't trust. Would you? That's a stupid investment. Their energy is already telling you they can't be trusted. Why would you invest more? That's why we ghost. Is because we have had to contort ourselves to learn to tone down our energy so we could be palatable. And you guys have the audacity to think that in spite of all the work we've had to do to still be kind, decent human beings, in spite of all the betrayal and the heartache we've had to stomach before we're allowed to even be ourselves, that somehow you can come over here and poo-poo all over this beautiful, laid-back, chilled energy that we have, and somehow nothing bad is going to happen to you. No, baby. It's called daddy karma. That daddy karma is going to get you together so fast, you're going to forget what hate you. Aquarius is like lightning in astrology. Remember, Aquarius rules light, lightning. If you don't like being zenged with the truth, do not tell lies to an Aquarian. It's very simple. Because what we will do is hold you to it. In some regards, I think Aquarius is a bit like, they act a bit like they're on the spectrum. Just as a mental health therapist, I can see like the parallels. Because Aquarius' insistence on like the truth is very autism-like. It's like, don't try to skirt it. Don't try to play funny business. No, we're not going to mince words. It's either you're going to fully step into this truth or you're not. But what we're not going to do is do-si-do. We're not doing that with you, okay? All right, so that was my answer to Aquarius. I'm sorry for dropping the mic, and thanks to you guys that are responding. Let me read some of the comments. Heavy on the tone ourselves down for other people's comfort. Yes, we do that all the time. Because if we talked about the things we really wanted to talk about, you guys would be like deeply depressed. Honestly, we're like the darkest zodiac sign. It's the truth. Someone said you saying that while playing jazz in the background is everything. I love jazz. I like chilled vibes, like lo-fi jazz. That's my stuff. Again, Aquarius energy. I just like chilled vibes. I don't like mess. I don't like chaos. Just chilled. Maybe it's toxic, but what is the point in explaining to people who won't understand principles? Exactly. Saturn is a very structured planet. When you look at the solar system, Saturn is the planet with the big rings around it. For those of you who are not familiar, every time you look at the solar system, you'll see just one planet that has the rings around it. That's Saturn. Those rings have very thin lines around them going all around, okay? And Saturn is also a very slow-moving planet, right? So Saturn is a very structured planet. So both Aquarians and Capricorn are very principled people. We're very rule-bound. We're very into ethics. We're very into codes. We're very into following the rules, okay? Remember, Saturn is about law and order. So when people don't understand rules, when people don't understand codes, when people don't understand principles, when people have no ethics, when they have no sense of personal responsibility, we can't mix because we don't speak the same language. You speak the language of whatever is convenient. I speak the language of whatever is the right thing. And that's not to say that Aquarians are perfect. It's that we have standards that we live up to. We have standards we hold ourselves up to. But a lot of people don't. So this is why we're very choosy about our company. It just keeps us from heartache. Someone said yes, yes, and yes. And thanks, guys, for all of my gifts. Someone said preach. Thank you, Waterwinds24, and welcome. Drink from my water bearer. Yeah, someone said yep, and someone said clapping hand emoji. The fake is totally ick to me. Oh my God, Riri, same. It makes me nauseous. Like, you're wasting your life pretending to be somebody that you're not. Do you know how sad that is? Imagine God gave you like a magical ride on earth and you literally wasted it being somebody else. That is the most miserable existence I can imagine. To have lived someone else's life on your dime. To have lived someone else's life on your ride on earth. I can't think of anything more sad than that. Aquarius, yep, fake energy gets me gone fast. No time for it, not a minute. Someone said, say it louder. Someone said, this is so true. I'm a Capricorn and this is true. And Capricorn, I've always felt different. Yes, it's because you two are here to actually move us forward. Generally, society is superficial and people People have little depth. Exactly that. People have little depth. People have a little understanding of karma. People have a little understanding, not even understanding. I'll say it exactly how I feel it. It's not even understanding. People have very little respect for the impact of their actions in this universe. And people have a very little level of responsibility that they're willing to take for their existence in this universe and the impact of their existence in this universe. That is fundamentally what sets Aquarians and Capricorn energy apart from everybody else. Being ruled by Saturn, these two have learned from a young age that actions have consequences and that there is this thing called karma. And when you do certain things happen. And that karma never misses those two. So for those of you that have been done wrong by Capricorn and Aquarius, you don't have to worry about it because they don't get away with anything. None of them do. And it's immediate and it is swift and it is stern. Everybody else could do it. But the minute they do it, everybody's losing their panties in the wad. Let me give you a perfect example of this, and I'm going to wrap it up with this. Megan Thee Stallion is an Aquarius sun. Both in Vedic and tropical astrology, Megan Thee Stallion is an Aquarius sun. Okay, so when we change modality, the truth is still what it is. Megan Thee Stallion is a Capricorn stallion, both in Vedic astrology and tropical astrology. Okay, all that tells you is Saturn energy on 1,000, right? She's got a lot of Saturn. She's got a lot of karma in her chart, right? Megan Thee Stallion made a rap song where she took a dig at lots of rappers, perhaps just one, but she dropped a line that says, "You hoes ain't mad at Megan, you hoes are mad at Megan's law." One line that sent Nicki Minaj, the queen of rap, in a tizzy. Nicki Minaj has not slept in 3 days. She's been online in every mode of communication imaginable, trying to denigrate Megan Thee Stallion. Meanwhile, Nicki has been throwing shots at Megan for years, and Megan has never said anything. And let me bring you all back to the fact that Megan never actually mentioned Nicki's name. She never actually said her name. She never even said that this song was about Nicki. That's just what I put together. That's what we put together. And that's what Nicki's response told us. But Megan never actually said, "Nicki, I'm speaking to you." So you guys are allowed to do all sorts of horrible things, the rest of y'all. But when Megan finally responds with 7 words, the world is at a standstill. Because Saturn is not allowed to get away with anything. But Nicki has been saying all sorts of things, all sorts of disgusting and vile things. She's been like speaking badly about Megan's dead mother. She's allowed to do that because she's not ruled by Saturn. She's been speaking vile, disgusting things, like saying that Megan slept with her mother's partner. Like, who says that? All sorts of disgusting things, calling her a ran through hoe. And by the way, how can she prove any of that? But all Megan said was 7 words, and the world is in a tizzy. People love to throw rocks and hide their hands until karma comes, and then they're like wanting to blame somebody else. My girl, you're the one who willingly married a child sexual predator. Whose fault is that? How is that Megan's fault? The only reason why this was triggering is because a hit dog is gonna holler. If this didn't apply to you, why are you hollering? Why are you hollering? The rest of the Zodiac doesn't have to think about accountability. They don't have to think about the consequences of their actions. When you get to be Aquarius and Capricorn, you have no choice but to. This is why we take so much heat from people. This is why we allow you to go on and on about your mistreatment. You go on and on and on, and we give you room to go on and on and on because we like to give you room so that when we're ready to speak back,
We do it swiftly with as minimal as words as possible so that the rest of the world can do the work for us. Did you notice that? Megan literally got all of you Googling Megan's Law. Because when Aquarius is ready to gather you, we're going to educate you too. Suddenly everybody's Googling Megan's Law. People are learning what Megan's Law is about. People are learning about the origin of Megan's Law. And when an Aquarius insults you, it's going to be multi-layered because we're going to make you more intelligent in the process. We don't just want to shade you. We want to make you better. So even when we shade you, we're making you better. She made everybody smarter and also educated everybody at the same time. That's Aquarius energy. So love it or hate it, it is a higher vibration. It's a higher vibration a lot of people simply do not want to rise to. A lot of people do not want that level of accountability, that level of self-assessment. Many people are concerned about what other people think of them, but few of them are concerned about what they think of themselves and the kind of life they're living and how the choices that they're making about their own lives reflect how they feel about themselves and what it is that they need to fix about themselves so their attitude about themselves can change. Insecurities. Very few people are obsessed with them. Aquarius is obsessed with theirs, and they're actively working on theirs because they're always trying to evolve. A lot of people are walking around like they don't have any, and Aquarius can read you like a book. So when it's time to go back to you with all the nastiness you've been giving them, they don't miss because they know where you hurt, because they can smell your toxicity. They're used to toxicity. You see that? That is essentially what it's about. It's about authenticity. It's about truth. It's about loving yourself deeply. Because when you love yourself deeply, you know your flaws. You know your insecurities. You know your insecurities and you're not ashamed of them. Like I just sat here and told you guys, my toxic trait is that when I give you pure love, and you take my kindness for weakness, I will be the coldest human you've ever met. And you will literally wonder if you've ever met me in real life or if I was just a fiction of your imagination. And I will literally go to bed and never think about you one more day of my God-given life on earth. Honest to God. It's like a switch. Off and I'm done. I don't circle the block. I've never circled the block in my life. I never will. For what? It's trash. That's why I left it. So why would I be sad about leaving trash? Let's make it make sense. Let's make it make sense. It's trash. That's why I don't want it. So why am I sad that I left trash? I'm not. And if I cut you off, you know what you did. And the fact that you didn't know not to do that is not my problem. That's for you to figure out. Is that healthy? Probably not. But that's who I am. I'm willing to live with that. I own that. That's the difference between Aquarius and everybody else. You guys are so insecure that you don't want to look at yourself in the mirror. Aquarius doesn't mind. So when you call us weird and bizarre and all that, we don't care. There's nothing literally you can say to an Aquarius that they haven't already heard from their family. Aquarius will literally cut off their family members, and you guys are worried about them cutting you off? You think an Aquarian cutting you off is the worst thing that's ever happened to you? I will cut off my own identical twin sister if she's a child molester. Are you kidding me? Because I'm heavily principled. I don't care if we share 99% of the same DNA. No, I don't rock with pedophiles. It doesn't matter to me that we're related. What matters to me is that we have the same principles, the same energy, the same vibe. And that's something most people can't understand. So that's what sets Aquarius apart, is that the principles trump everything else, because right is right and wrong is wrong. And God is love and the light and the truth. And if you cannot live in light and the truth, then Aquarius is not for you. It's as simple as that. All right, guys, so it's 7 o'clock. Our time has come to an end. Thanks for all the Aquarius chatter. I look forward to connecting with you again on Thursday, same time, 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. We get to talk some more. Thank you so much for all the gifts. Thank you for all the love. I appreciate you. I love you back. And thank you to everyone else who's on an Aquarius who listened to my Aquarius rant. And hopefully this is helping you guys that love Aquarius to better understand them, because deep down, they're very soulful, loving people that just want you to be who you are. They just want you to be truthful, to be yourself, to give pure love. And pure love is eternal. And it knows no bounds. It knows no limits. Like, it knows no boundaries, no geography, no gender, no age. It's just raw, unadulterated. It's true. That's all Aquarius wants. And if you don't have that because you can't give it to yourself, that's okay. Just work on yourself until you have it before you approach Aquarius. But do not come near them and pretend to have it when you don't, because they will bring your tower moment. Okay? They will destroy you. Remember, coldest planet in the solar system. Okay? Just remember that. And remember, lightning, they're rule light. So when an Aquarius destroys you, it's literally like being struck by lightning. It doesn't feel good. I don't recommend. So just, if you don't have authenticity and pure love, don't go around them, and you'll be fine. Okay? Then you won't have to deal with karma. All right. Love you. Bonne nuit. Merci. Bonne nuit. À la prochaine fois. On se verra le jeudi. Good night. Good night. I love you. À jeudi. Merci. Thank you guys. On those of you on Instagram, good night. Thank you everyone on YouTube. Good night.